Hey, I'm Paul deMarco, and welcome to an episode of Speed Sessions. Now, the whole point behind this is we're going to go through something really quickly that may seem complicated, but we're going to try and simplify it. And this episode is going to be about the Nashville number system. Now, when I first started writing with country writers, I kept hearing about this Nashville number system, and I was like, what on earth is this? So I'm going to try and demystify it. When I finally learnt what it was, I realised that I knew it all along. I'd learnt it already, and the reason I'd learnt it is because I understood the blues. And I knew that the blues featured a 1-4-5 chord progression. So in G it would be the 4, the 5, and the 1. So I'd already understood this Roman numeral system to chord making and didn't realise it was exactly the same as the Nashville number system. Although rather than use Roman numerals, they tend to use numbers. So in a Nashville session, they could call out changes to each other by literally going 4, as in move to the 4 chord, or 5. So what is it basically? So if you take the key of G, for example, because it's a good songwriting key, and we take the notes of the G major scale, and I'm going to fret it in a certain way because I think that this makes it simpler to see on the fretboard. So if we take the 7 notes of the scale, we're going to have a G, and I'm basically going to follow the dots here, right? So I'm going to go G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. I'm playing it there for a reason. Now, each of these notes has a chord attached to it. If I was to play it as power chords, I'd have a G power chord, an A, a B, a C, a D, an E, and an F sharp. And I'll be back to G again. But in the number system, each chord has its own quality to it, which makes it either major or minor. So there's a simple way of understanding this. Well, there's 2 ways really. The first way is to understand that the first chord, the 1, the 4, and the 5 are all major chords. In every single major key that you're playing in, those 3 chords, if you're sticking to the rules, will always be major chords. So we'd have a G, a C, and a D. Now, does that explain why when you're writing something or playing something, the G, the D, and the C seem to go really well together? Well, it's because they are all the major chords in that key of G. That's why they work. So everything else is a minor chord, except for the F sharp, the 7, which is a diminished chord. We won't go into too much detail on that. There are certain occasions where you would use that chord, and it's a very special one when you find it, but it's not as popular as the others. So first of all, your 1-4-5 are all major chords. Different ways you can describe it. I think of it as like an L shape on the guitar. So it's the root, the chord immediately above it, and the chord 2 frets in front of that one. Give me my 1-4-5. They're all major chords, and you can write a song. Millions of songs have been written, billions of songs on those 3 chords. So everything else is a minor. So the other way to know it is to do them in order. So we'd go major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. So major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. So there's lots of different ways you can do that. So in this key we'd have G major, we'd have A minor, we'd have B minor, we'd have C major, we'd have D major, then E minor, and then an F sharp diminished. And then we're back to G major again. Now, the great thing about the guitar for me is that I can transpose this to anywhere I want on the guitar, and that pattern will still stay the same, assuming I'm playing it on the low E string. So, for example, I want to play in the key of A because G doesn't suit my voice, for example. The same rule applies. My 1-4-5 is going to be the A major, the chord immediately above it, which is a D major, and 2 frets in front of that. Playing this L shape is my 5 chord, which is an E major. So A, D, and E, all the major chords in that key. Let's run through it with the minors as well. We go major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, back to major root again. So wherever you play along that low E string, those shapes will still be exactly the same. If I'm in F, 1, 4, 5, F, B flat and C. If I'm in B, 1, 4, 5. They're always in exactly the same place related to each other. Now there is lots more we can talk about that, but basically demystifying the Nashville number system, that's all it is. Each chord in a key has its own number and they're in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they go major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. And that's it really. So you can come up with chord changes based on how things sound. If you want to make it interesting, you could just pick numbers. You could just go, right, I'm going to play a 6, 2, 4 change and hear how that sounds. So in the key of G, for example, I might go. Quite like that, I might use that. So you can come up with ideas just like that. So it really is that simple. Number each of the chords in a key, each of the notes in a key from 1 to 7. Make sure you know which ones are major and minor. Yes, you can break those rules and you can come up with some really cool changes based on that. But that's the basics of it. There is a lot more to know, but hopefully that will get you started. And now you know what the Nashville tuning system is. The Nashville number system, rather. Nashville tuning, different thing entirely. So I'll see you on another speed session and we can demystify something else that you think you don't know, but maybe you already do. You just need someone to tell you that. Okay, see you next time. Thank you.